So this time I found a really interesting video by this lovely, beautiful, freaky deaky Japanese woman, I should say, who's talking about bumping uglies and giving tips about, how you can do the do when you're doing the do with a Japanese girl. Of course, I'll give my feedback on it. We'll talk about it. We'll perv out a little bit. It's going to be fun. So quick breakdown, it's not too complicated and we'll get into it. This is a video by Sachi channel. I've stumbled upon her. Her channel seems to be inactive, which is a shame because she does a lot of like women, you know, bedroom kind of openness videos, and I'll probably be reviewing some more of her stuff in the future. But this time she's talking about hitting it from the back, hitting it with the little smack, smack, smack. And we'll stay a little bit later because we'll talk about that as well. And she talks about things from a Japanese perspective. Again, without really giving too much of my stuff, I'll just let you know what I agree, pick up a few points. As always, her link to the original video will be below, and I do recommend you check out her channel. She's got a bunch of entertaining stuff that'll make you giggle like a schoolboy. I enjoy watching her, some of her stuff, doing research for this. So let's get into it.
一つ目は、これはね、そんなことする人いるのと思ったんだけど、女性のお尻をガッて開くみたいな。なんていうの、後ろから女性のね、そのね、お尻をね、こうね、割れ目をね、ガッて開くんだって。それで、なんかやっぱ女性としてはさ、恥ずかしいわけじゃん。で、そのね、なんて言うんだろうね、そのさ、恥ずかしさが、こう、気持ちよさに変わるみたいなの結構あると思うんだけど、そこのね、すごいね、さじ加減ってすごく難しくて、例えば、だけど、まあ、すごい女性が濡れてる時に、なんか、もうこんな濡れちゃってるねとかさ、そういうことを言われるのって恥ずかしいけど、恥ずかしいけど興奮に変わるみたいなのはあるんだけど、例えばもうすごいお尻の穴をめっちゃガッて開かれて、それでなんか、こんな恥ずかしい格好してるんよとかさ、言われるのはもうただただ恥ずかしさしかないみたいな。そこがね、難しいの。まあ、人によって多少は違うよ。まあ、そこまでやられて、それがすごい気持ちいいって女性もいるかもしれないけど、だけど割とね、その行為はもうただただ恥ずかしさでしかないという。
Yeah, she's kind of right about that. I think so. I don't know who's like opening up cheeks like that to see what's going on down there. I'm not really like a kind of butt kind of guy. I don't like to do butt stuff, but for some of you guys who think like, okay, let me kind of prime the pump a little bit. Like I don't really know how you do that, but just, I wouldn't recommend doing that if you are flipping it around and smacking it down, um, yeah, just the average Japanese girl is not going to be into it. As you can see from her, she's quite open, in a good way. I think, in knowing what she wants and what she likes and stuff like that. She's probably experienced in these streets, which I think is good. She seems like, a really a fun person to hang out with, but I would say she's not the norm here in Japan. So don't just expecting like everyone to be thinking and talking like her. But I do agree that like that move, isn't really a thing here. And like she said, it would just be embarrassing. Like, remember, the embarrassment for Japanese people is a really big thing. So, it's not like, oh, it's like, I don't want you to see that part of me, kind of thing. That's Your average Japanese girl is gonna think like that. Now, again, if she's into butt stuff, you're into butt stuff. I don't know how you have that conversation. I don't. I never really have. But like, I would just avoid like that move. Yeah, leave that in your home country. Mm.
で、もう一つ目は、私は好きなんだけど、スパンキングね。スパンキング。お尻をバシバシ叩くっていう。で、これは好き嫌い分かれますね。正直ね。だけど、結構痛くて嫌だっていう女性が多いかなっていう気はします。私は好きです。私は好きなんだけど、これってなんかさ、なんだろうね。二つあってさ、その興奮の要素が。一つは、もうなんか、征服されてるとか、なんて言うんだろうね。痛み一個は痛くて興奮するっていうの。で、もう一個は征服されてる感とか、その音、叩かれてるっていうその行為、痛みじゃなくて、に興奮してるっていう。だから私はどちらかというと、痛いことに興奮してるわけじゃなくて、なんか征服されて叩かれてるみたいな、その音とか行為自体に私は興奮してるタイプなんですよ。だから、 音が欲しい。だからなるべく痛いのは私も嫌なんだよね。だからさ、スパンキングって本当に上手な人は、大きな音で痛み少なくみたいな感じでできるんだよね。
Yeah, that's like a tutorial on spanking a Japanese girl. Again, I'm drawing like a broad drawing with broad strokes here, but generally speaking, your average Japanese girl is not really gonna want to experience pain when she's with you, but like you said, feeling not like in an S&M kind of dominated kind of way, but being kind of controlled or taken by a guy, you know what I'm saying, is gonna be an important thing to make her feel liberated, if you should say. And I would say, yeah, hard smacking, like you see like in movies, or you might do with girls in your home country. I would say everything. You just gotta tone it down quite a bit if you're with Japanese girls, And she made a good point that I never really thought about that, smacking with to make a sound, but not really to make feel pain, because in Japan too, you'll kind of notice in everyday interactions with people, any like surprises is kind of like ooh shocking for people. Even me, I not like that kind of way, but like in my everyday interactions, I'm just not so used to unexpected things happening in my everyday life. Here in Japan, like it kind of makes you like, oh, like surprised if something, unexpected noise or someone kind of suddenly comes at you or something like that. And I think that part of like the mundane nature of Japanese society makes the average Japanese woman really like shocked and feel like a sense of kind of exhilaration when if you do like smack that thing the right way, where I mean, of course, that where it doesn't hurt, but it's just like, oh my gosh, like what just happened? That's never happened to me before, or that came out of nowhere. Those kind of like unexpected nature of Japanese society doesn't really exist in everyday life. There's no real violence here. The people don't really have like crime that they deal with, or the threat of crime or things like that. Life is very much predictable, so people can kind of cut off their senses, that kind of sense of like alert or awareness of unexpected things. Besides like an earthquake, if you to be honest with you, for most people. So getting a little like occasional, I wouldn't go too crazy, but like a couple of them in there would be like, oh, what am I doing? An unexpected thrill for that person that you are with, but I wouldn't make that your mainstay, and again, you might misjudge her reactions, especially if you're new to Japan. You might not, it might be something where she's uncomfortable. She doesn't know how to tell you to stop. So, whatever you do, whatever extracurricular sprinkles you put on your show, I would do it with, conservatively, if you will, just so that you're not doing too much. You're not dumping sprinkles all over the cake, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you just want to put little sprinkles, let's see if they like it, and then maybe next time put a few more sprinkles, and kind of gauge based on that. But that's going to be the main thing, I think.
二つ目は、髪の毛がさ、こうなんかわさーってバックの時って、女性がなりがちタイ変えた後とかだと特に。だから、こうなんか後ろから髪の毛をなんかこうやって、なんていうの、どっちかに寄せてほしいとか、なんか、それで髪の毛を寄せてからの後ろからのキスみたいなね。のもね、女性はね、後ろからなんかされるの好きなの。だから、後ろからキスするとか、ちょっと大変だけどね、距離的に。距離的にちょっと大変だけど、バックの中で、ちょっとこうキスする瞬間とかを時にバックって顔が見られないから、女性はもうね、全力で感じてるわけですよ。正常位の時とかってちょっと変な顔してないかなとか気にしちゃうんだけど、バックの時は顔見られないから、もう全開で感じられてるから、結構もうね、自分の世界に入ってるというかね、っていう方が多いんですけど、そんな時にね、ちょっとパートナーの男性に髪の毛をこう、寄せられて、後ろからキスなんかされちゃうともっともっと気持ちよくなれると思うので、ぜひ取り入れてみてください。
This is, I think, an important point, like that you might not realize, like, again, passion and getting wrapped up in, the moment, kind of aggressive nature for, in the West can happen, right? Like the rough stuff, depending on the girls, you might like the rough stuff in the West, but I think here, more like a small thing, like, fixing her hair, not like grabbing her hair. I wouldn't know. I'm not like a hair grabber. Again, I'm black. Black girls ain't really going for the hair grabbing like that, you know, but just like fixing her hair. Like if you see her hair is roughed up, just like actually fixing her hair, putting it into place, making sure that she looks nice, telling her she looks beautiful when you after you do that, that is like mwah, to a Japanese girl. So that will definitely make her feel beautiful, make her feel like you care about her. Even if I'm telling you, even if it's like, a one night fling, short term kind of thing, those small touches are make a huge difference in her experience. And I again, it's not. I wouldn't recommend just going in there like Rambo, just rah, all crazy. Just show a little affection, show a little care, tone down your aggressiveness more than normal, and add, I think, a few of these moves that Sachi mentioned. I do recommend her channel, if you want to hear her talk dirty in Japanese and just pick up a little bit more about like an openly sexually liberated Japanese woman who is not the norm, by the way. They're not out here talking like this. Of course, you might find someone who might enjoy that, but they're not generally going to let you know that. So these are tips. I think she is giving an inside deal. That's why I wanted to share this with you guys. And it's kind of fun for me to hear her talk dirty in Japanese. So let me know with a like, a comment. You guys leave your experiences. As always, it's a lot of fun. Check the comment section. Here's another video, and I'll holler at y'all soon.